Hello, it is good to see you back on the mat. Thank you for joining me again on Yoga with Paige. Today I have a nice wake up the hips flow for you. So this is intended to be a morning practice. We work through mobility. We kind of dive right in. It's a shorter practice just to help you wake up the body, get those kinks out, get some stiffness out before you go about your day. So because we do kind of jump right in, I would recommend having a few blocks handy to help yourself ease into the postures. This is not about how deep you can go or how flexible you can look. We just want to open those hips. So with that being said, you do need a little bit of space around your mat. We will be standing up a little bit, so it's not all on the floor. And if that sounds good to you, we can begin. So today we are starting in a wide child pose. So touch those big toes together, walk the fingertips out, send the hips backward, but don't worry if your hips don't touch your heels. Like I said, we don't really care what it looks like today. We just want to make sure you give yourself space, widen the knees, and give yourself a chance to wake up. Find your breath. Consciously release any muscles you may be holding right now. Find a few nice centering breaths. Maybe you go a tad bit deeper. Starting in a nice restful position today before we get up and moving. Find one or two more rounds of breath here. Allow yourself to melt and ease into the day. And then taking your gaze forward, you may want to lift up onto the hands if you weren't already. Start to make teeny tiny little movements with your hips. So kind of just rocking them side to side, waking up the inner thighs. Okay, and then we can start to, you can stay here, or you can make them a little bit bigger. Start to rock. Maybe you want to take a few full circles. Play around, see how it feels today. Ooh, I felt a pop. That was good. Beautiful. All right. Ooh. I popped on both sides. I love that for me. All right, finding another circle or two. And then we're coming down to lay on the belly. Okay. So take the knees underneath you. Carefully lay yourself down. No need to rush anything. Planting the hands, we're on the forearms in Sphinx pose. So really widen through the fingers, ground down as you lift the chest up. Big breath in, shine the heart forward. Maybe you want to give yourself an affirmation or an intention for the day, for this practice, something you want to keep with you. And once you find yourself comfortably seated here, we're going to come into a little like half frog variation. So taking your right leg, extend the knee out. So we want the knee about in line with the hip, but make sure it feels good to you. Flexing the foot. Personally, I think it's more helpful to still be raised up. You can also lower yourself down. And then think about sending the hips through the floor. Okay, so we're going to have some glute activation here. The activation helps with the loosening and the mobility, believe it or not. Notice what's going on that side. And now we're going to find a little bit of rotation. So keeping yourself where you are, if this feels good to you, lift the foot for a little rotations. We're going to do about 5 of those. So move with intention, move slowly, and try to only work through your one right leg. Your body will tell you when to stop. Beautiful. Last one, if your pace matched mine. But we meet on our left side. So rolling over onto your left leg, you can brace yourself with the hands here, keeping this right leg on top. Find your center of gravity. Bend the right leg, the knee kind of up towards the face, and then straighten. Bend it back and extend it down. We're going to do 5 of those. So in your own time, just noticing how this feels. Any little creaks? And you can make this more fluid if that feels better to you. And if you've been with me here for a little bit, you know that we might do an extra one because I think that might have been 6. So when you are finished with your 5, we're rolling back onto the belly to repeat on the other side. So take a moment here in Sphinx. Big breath in, lift the chest, lift the heart center, and exhale, bending this left leg now. Extending it out, finding the same sort of positioning we did before, and just breathe. Give yourself a moment to be. And if this is uncomfortable for your lower back, you can lay your forehead down on top of your arms. It will release some of that pressure if it's a little bit too much pressure for you. Take what you need. Modify as you see fit. And then coming into our rotations, lifting up that left foot. And if it helps, you can look at it. Squeeze and back down. Just improving our range of motion here, getting things a-moving for the day. All right, and extending that leg behind you, now rolling onto your right side. Find your positioning here, and then bend that left knee in towards the chest and extend, bend, and replace. And I'm just going to go with the fact that we're doing 6 on both sides. So when you feel even, roll back onto the belly, and we're coming into a downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift up onto the knees if that's how you want to get there, and send the hips up. Pedal out those feet, wake up the calves, the ankles, the backs of the legs. Take a moment to arrive. If you want to keep the knees bent, you certainly can do so. Finding another breath or 2 here. Allow yourself to soften, find some ease. Okay, and then plant this right foot down. Send the left up, 3-legged dog, nice and high. If you want, you can stay here, or you can add in a few little circles with the leg to further open up. We're only here for about another breath. And then take that knee in through the chest, step it up into a nice high lunge. Beautiful. Lift the chest, send that right heel back. Finding your balance here. Take a breath. Maybe sweep the arms overhead. Inhale. And on your next exhale, open up to warrior two. Gazing over that left hand. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Sink a little bit lower if you can. Then inhale, flip the front hand. Reach the left arm overhead. Finding a nice big side stretch. Yummy. Windmilling the arms around. We are coming to the long edge of the mat. So we want our feet facing the edge of the mat. Coming into a little runner's lunge, side lunges. And this is where you can place your blocks if you are not open enough to be able to use your fingers as your balance point. Maybe you want to let the legs do all of the work on their own. Just a few little lunges on each side. Perhaps you take one side and hold it for 2 breaths. Before carefully switching to the other side. Use that breath. Use it to help you awaken and invigorate. Coming back to straight legs, returning to the back of the mat this time. And coming back into our downward facing dog. So take a moment right now, check in, see how you feel. Then plant that left foot down, sweep the right leg back, 3-legged dog. Find your hip circles if you took them on the other side. Remember, we're not here long. And then pulling that knee in high to the chest, stepping through, nice high lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up behind you, maybe float them around. Take a nice big deep inhale and exhale, warrior two. Inhale, flip that right palm and exhale. Side stretch. Let this left hand travel down the leg where it lands. Beautiful. Windmilling around. We are coming back to the long edge of the mat, but this time goddess pose. So turn the toes out to the corners, okay? And sink those hips low. So I recommend placing your hands on your knees. Okay, we can find a little fun here. Maybe you want to pulse it out. Or maybe you want to drop a shoulder, take a tiny little twist. More movement or more stillness? What is calling to you? Twists are a nice way to help wake up your body as well, wake up that digestive system. Coming back through center. Carefully rise up, straighten the legs, step up to the top of the mat. We're coming into everyone's favorite. Okay, chair pose. All right, so reach the arms up and sink the hips low. Feet are under the hips. Send the hips back. Tuck the tailbone in just a tiny bit. Hold here. Breathe. And exhale, straighten to mountain. We're going to do that 2 more times, okay? Inhale. And exhale, sink down into chair. Keeping the chest nice and lifted. Hold here for a breath. And exhale. Mountain. Wiggle those fingers. Get the energy flowing. 1 more time. You got this. Exhale. Maybe sink a little bit lower this time. Hold here. And instead of mountain, try to slowly lower yourself down into a seat. Whew. That one's tricky. That one made me sweat a little bit. So now we are coming into a little deer pose, like lunge action. I don't even know what to call this. So we're facing the corner of the mat. Your right foot is by your left knee. Your left one is tucked back here. So find a moment here. Find your positioning first. Maybe you want the legs a little closer together. See if you notice anything happening in the hips. And then we raise up onto this right leg. So up, send the hips forward. Squeeze those glutes, send the hips. And down. 5 of those. So find your own rhythm, your own pace. If you can, don't use your hands as balance. Make the hips work. That's what we're here to do. We're here to unlock them. All right. And 5. Hold here. Big breath. Release back down. And now before we do the other side, take a few little windshield wipers here. So place the feet about hip distance or mat distance apart. And just let the knees kind of rock side to side. My back cracked. All right, and then we're coming into the other side. So now you want your right foot tucked behind. You're facing over your left, like so. All right, we take a breath to prepare, to collect ourselves. And now, send the hips up. Beautiful. Take a second if you need it, okay? Beautiful. I'm going to do an extra one. I know this is 6, but it feels too good. Okay, ready? And now come to find a nice seat. So we're doing a little seated pigeon. So take your right foot, cross it over your left knee, and just bring your legs closer to your chest. Bring your chest closer to your legs, pushing through the mat. You can find a tiny little like sway here. That usually feels good for the like outer hips. A little rock if you want more movement. Otherwise, a static hold. One more big breath in. Deep inhale and exhale. We can unravel the legs and we switch sides. Maybe a nice little sigh of relief. Who knows? Wake up that brain. Send it the oxygen it deserves and it needs. All right, exhale to carefully unravel. And we are finding our final position for this morning practice. So you can take bound ankle, maybe just an easy seat. We're going to end with a little bit of breath awareness. So anywhere that feels good to you. If you made an intention, I recommend you revisit it. Sit up nice and tall. And just be with your breath. There's no need to change it. Notice how you are doing in this exact moment right now, this present moment. I know we ramped up our morning practice a little bit, so if you want to take a few more extra moments to find your center, notice the breath as it enters and leaves the body. Notice the beating of your heart. And with this last breath, maybe think of something that you are grateful for. For me, I'm grateful that I got to wake up to another day. Thank you so much for joining me in this morning practice. I would love to know how it went for you. And I look forward to the next time I see you. Have a great day.